Hey everybody, just a quick little video. I know I keep harping on about nature. Probably a lot of you might be sick of it, but really I just want to encourage you all to enjoy nature. So I'm here on one of the lakes near my home, and it's part of something I do every day. So I either go for a long walk or a long run, at least a couple of hours, to get outside. Always go on my own to get some fresh air. Because I realise the importance of a couple of things. So one is nature, for sure. And when I had my awakening a few years ago, so this big shift in consciousness, to help with that, and it's very common amongst people that have had the same experience, you kind of have to go through a bit of a hermit phase, which is where it all starts with you kind of questioning things. So questioning a little bit the nature of reality, and questioning things that people have told you, like conditioning that you've had from society and parents and peers and everyone that you've grown up with to make you question things. And it really does take you in quite a deep level of realizations of things that aren't quite right, or who you thought you were, maybe you're not. So we all think we're something, for example, this person with these kind of qualities and these kinds of aptitudes and so on. And then you realise that your core, what you are, is actually this awareness, this consciousness, observing everything that's going on. So you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're just the observer of it all. And when you realise that, this box that you made for yourself, or society made for yourself, or a combination of them, it totally cracks, and you realise you're just awareness. So therefore you can do anything you want to do. You can, the world's your oyster, literally. You can do anything. So before you might have thought, I'm quite a shy person, so I could never do a Facebook Live video. And that's kind of what I thought about myself as well. But now I'm doing it. And there's maybe like 1,200 people or so that potentially could see this. And then if it gets shared, loads of people could see it. And I'm doing it on the spot, and I haven't really planned it at all. So, it could go wrong, but I don't really care. So that's the thing. I'm not really scared anymore of like people's opinions or anything like that. I just feel confident in myself, and some people are going to resonate with this message, other people are going to think it's boring, or maybe I'm crazy, and that's fine as well. Like, everyone has their own journey, so if you like it, then great. If you don't, then that's fine as well. So yeah, my point of this video was basically to talk about when we do go through this kind of shift in consciousness, which is actually happening to a lot of people at the moment, because we're in this challenging time, and often we need challenges to awaken. So some kind of suffering that needs to happen to us. So it could be a limitation, or it could be some kind of loss, so like loss of freedom even, or losing our jobs, losing a relationship. Quite often then it's when we realise that actually we can go deeper. And instead of staying on the surface level of things, which is thought, basically our thought-based identity, we can actually go deeper into awareness, which is who we are, and discover a whole load of things. So on that journey of awakening, people often go through this hermit phase of where you kind of have to be alone for a while. Like, you have to figure things out, and you notice that everything else is a distraction to that. So that includes books, any form of media, like being on your phone all the time, documentaries, news, all of that. You kind of want to cut out. Other people as well. You realise they're a huge influence on how you feel and how you think. So you kind of want to cut that out for a short time. You feel like you need to, and that's really common amongst those people I spoke to. And during mine, for sure, I had like months where I tried to limit all of that stuff, and I would just really go internally. And what that means is generally being somewhere in a natural environment, so not stuck in a building somewhere, but actually outside in nature, like where all of our ancestors spent the majority of the time, but something like only, like in the UK and the US, it's like 90% of our time is spent indoors for the average person. We hardly get any time outside, and if we are outside, then we might just be in a really built-up area, like a big city, never in like nature. And it's so healing and amazing to be back where we should be, really, which is in nature and away from distractions. So if we make these two things happen on like a regular basis, where we're away from distractions, that means putting away your phone, putting away any books that you're reading, go on your own so you're not distracted by another person, and just being out in nature, those two things, a lack of distractions and nature. If you just try and incorporate that a bit into your life as much as possible, And when you're out there, you're not stuck in your thinking about stuff, because that's more content, but instead you're actually just in nature and observing, using your senses. Hi everybody watching, hi Angel, hi CJ, hi Reza. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm just talking about nature again, so some of you might be sick of it, but it's really, really key, and I can't say that point enough, like how much it's really key to our well-being to be outside in nature, especially now as it's spring, summer in the UK, in the US. Perfect time. There's no real excuse not to be doing something outside every day, even if it's half an hour walk on your own in the morning. Just go out there and then use your senses. So for example, at the moment I've got this lovely lake behind me, I don't know if you can see, and I've got some trees, I've got the birds there, there's a few people on bikes and stuff going past. And it's just really nice to just sit and use your senses. So when I say use your senses, a lot of people still don't really understand what that means. So I'm going to just demonstrate for you. So if I'm just going to show you the lake here, I'm going to try and switch the camera around. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, there we go. So this is my view at the moment. So what I can see are some reeds in the lake. And see trees, I can see the lake there, and I see those two ducks and a bird flying up. Whee! So what I do when I'm in nature is just I observe. So that doesn't mean thinking, it doesn't mean like looking at these reeds or these ducks and questioning something like, what is it called? How long does it grow for? Like, that's the mind just working. And your mind is so used to just doing that all the time. I'm inviting you to step out of that mind, because we're so trapped in our mind that all we do when we look at something is we think we know what it is, and then we don't actually see what it is. So even this little tree thing, you might think, yeah, that's a tree, or like a small tree. But really, if you look at it, and I've not actually looked at this before, but the whole point of this mindfulness or present moment awareness is actually just noticing the beauty in everything, and nature particularly. Like, so you can just see these little leaves here, and you can see the red colour, and just observe them. And you might think, the mind will say that's really boring, but ignore the mind. The whole point of this is to get out of suffering, which is just your thoughts, and actually go into the present moment, which is just awareness. And say, right, for the next half an hour, I'm just going to observe. Any thoughts that come in, I'm going to ignore them. So the thought, like, this is really boring, just ignore it and just try it. Like, trust me, you're going to thank me for getting you on this journey of out of your mind. So you can see these lovely leaves here. You just look at the detail. It's just so perfect. And then the same over here. See these reeds. You can watch the birds and the ducks. And look how peaceful they are. Like, I don't know if you saw that little bird there. I'll try and zoom in a bit. Little, I don't know what he is. Some kind of waterfowl. He's just dipped under, and you just watch him. There he is. He just popped over there. It's beautiful. It's such a simple thing to do. And you just observe. Really, really nice. And it's so relaxing. And I do this every day, at least a couple of hours, just observe. And it's a great time to solve problems without even trying to solve them. Because usually we've got a problem, we try and think our way to the answer. And we don't get there through that level of thinking. You might have noticed this yourself. If you've got a problem, you're like trying to think about it all the time, then you don't get the answer. It's not until you step away, so maybe have a shower or you go to sleep, and then you wake up and you know the answer. And it just pings to you. It's the same with this. So this is what I do all the time. If I've got something on my mind, like I'm trying to figure out something, I just stay in nature, and then the answer just comes to you. It's quite amazing. If you step out of your mind, that's when the answer, the inspiration comes. It can be the opposite of what we think. We need to think to get an answer. But no, step out of it, back into your sense perceptions of just observing things. You'll be amazed at how many insights you get, how many answers to problems you get. And at the same time as that, you feel just peaceful, you feel back in tune with what we should be doing. So personally, I think this lockdown is quite great because it limits lots of stuff that we normally do to distract ourselves, and the only thing we can really do out of the house is get outside and go into nature. And I think it's actually going to help people awaken and actually realise that we aren't our thoughts, and we are, we're just this awareness that observes everything. So that box that you've made for yourself is bullshit. You can step out of that. You're not a shy person. You're not a fearful person. You can do it. You are enough. And all these limiting thoughts that we all have are just bullshit basically, and you realise that, and actually you're limitless. You can do whatever you want to do. And how amazing is that? Like, what a realisation to know that we're just the observer of our experience. So just thought I'd do that quick video, because now I want to actually enjoy my nature as well and not be thinking what I'm saying. But I just wanted to share with you guys the beauty and the power of, one, being in nature, and two, just getting off your phone for once, getting out of books, getting out of other people's company for a bit, and just go into yourself and observe and be around nature, trees, birds, anything not made by humans, lakes, rivers, and it's amazing. And hopefully you'll start experiencing the amazing benefits like I have done. And if you want any more information on my journey, or you want to know a bit more, or you don't understand what I've said or anything, please comment below or just send me a message, and I'm really happy to help you, because I really want people to get where I am, to really just feel like the beauty and the peace in every moment of our lives, no matter what we're doing. So thanks guys for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your days, the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers, bye!